Okay, the recording starts. So I would like us to do defining the function, which is very, very important. Also, what? How to graph trig functions and how to solve the equations. Quite okay. I don't want us to waste time doing binomial because I know only one question or two questions can come there and it can only carry few marks. So you should just go through binomial. You should also go through binomial. Okay, let's start. So we have a function. Where is the question? Mm, the question is saying consider the function f of x is equal to the modulus of x plus 1 minus x. The question was define the function by removing the modulus and sketch the graph. Now, it's very, 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 very important and straightforward. What I can tell you is to define a function if you have got the modulus, what you have to do is you have to get what is there in the modulus, equate them equal to 0. So for x is going to be equal to 0. 1 minus x is equal to 0. X is equal to 1. Are we together up to this point? Next,
Yes.
I'm going to write the table where I need to plug in. I'm going to have this. This is what I'm going to have. I'm going to put a 0 here. I'm going to put a 1 here. I'm going to get a number in between this. What is the number? 0.5. I do this. I'm going to get a 2 here. I'm going to get a 1 here. Negative and not 1. So here I'm going to put x, this x which I have, I'm going to put here. This 1 minus x which I have, I'm going to put here. Before we continue, I want you to tell me if you are behind. I don't want you to tell me to say, sir, start afresh from the top. No. But if you have got a question, ask. Leviticus. Okay. In short, the reason why we are doing that is when there is a modulus, meaning there is plus or minus, not so. Unless if these guys we had the same modulus, for example, if we had x plus 1, maybe plus 2x, then it was like this. So the modulus is separated. There is x on its own, it is on modulus or in the modulus, and also 1 minus x is in the modulus. So we are trying to get each modulus on its own. So we are treating each as a function. You understand? You get my point? Leviticus? So I'm saying I'm going to put x. This is the x I'm getting. Mhm. Yes, we don't have the two. We don't have the 2x, mama. Where is the 2x you're talking about?
The things that you are from writing.
Which things? Here is x is equal to 1.
Dropped, sir.
I wrote a 2 here. I'm
2x.
then that was a mistake now.
What is example?
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say this. If I put a negative, if I put negative 1 where there is x, what am I going to get? Is it going to be positive or negative? Let's do first.
Negative.
I'm going to put negative. If I put negative here, what am I going to have?
Negative.
Not positive. 1 minus minus 1. Positive. If I put 0 here, I'm going to get a positive. Here I'm going to get a positive. Here I'm going to get a positive. Here I'm going to get a negative. What I have to do is I have to add these. So the function which is going to be there is going to be like this. F of x is going to be equal to, so first I have to make the equation. So I'm going to say this x, this negative times everything here is going to give me what? Negative x. Also this positive times everything here is going to give me what? A positive. Okay, so I'm going to have plus open brackets 1 minus x. So to solve this, it's going to be x plus 1 minus x, 1 minus 2x. This is going to be the first formula or the first equation which is going to be here. Now since we have gotten where there is this, it is less than 0. We are getting the numbers from this side. So therefore the x has to be less than 0. Before I go to the next one, do you have questions?
Sir, can you repeat?
Justina?
Yes.
Yes, please.
How are you putting this one? The one on top, negative x, then plus 1 minus x. How did you pick the values here?
At how am I picking the x and what?
And the x minus 1.
You mean these? Oh, you are talking about these ones?
Here.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay. So we start from there, right?
Yeah.
So here is the trick part, guys. We are saying this negative times this negative. Okay, in short, yes, that is the simplest way. This negative, have you seen this? Times the x, what are we going to get? In short, what I'm trying to say here is we are finding the sum. We need to add these two things. So we are adding this and this, but this is having a negative. So in short, I want to find the answer for this. If I add x plus this, but I'm getting this is negative, meaning it's going to be negative x plus this is going to be, if I do everything times positive, it's going to be the same 1 plus 1 minus x. Negative x minus x is 2x, so I'm going to have this. Is that okay, Justina?
Yes, but I have a question again.
Yes.
So, for this same one, the first time,
Mhm.
you just pick the first function and multiply with the first sign.
Yes, we are going to do, yes, this one and this one, then plus this times this. Then next it's going to be this times this, again this times this. We're going to add them. So we are adding these, also these. So we're going to have 3.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. So we are going to have this, guys. We are going to have negative times this is going to give us negative x plus, if I do this times everything here, it's not going to affect anything because it is positive. So I'm going to have 1 minus x. This will end up giving us this. So since the condition is that this is 0, so we have gotten negative 1, meaning that it's supposed to be less than negative 1. So we're going to have 1 minus 2x, comma, x has to be less than 0. That is okay. Next, I'm going to get what is positive times x? X plus positive times everything. I'm not doing times x alone, I'm doing times everything here. It's not going to affect anything. I'm going to have 1 minus x. X and x will go. I'm going to have only 1. But we have found, remember we found that x was equal to 1 at the same time x was equal to 0 and x was equal to 1 per first when we equated them equal to 0. So what we have to do is the condition for this, since we're talking about this is the interval, it is starting from 0 all the way to 1. So these two are included. So we're going to say that this is going to be 0 starting from 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1. We are done with that condition. Next, I'll go to this. What is this and this is going to give us positive, not so. It's going to be positive x plus, I'm going to put them in brackets, or I can just say this. This negative times everything here. What are we going to get? Come on, come on.
1 plus x.
Negative 1 plus x. I don't know if you are confused there. We're going to get negative 1 plus x. This negative times everything there, we're going to get this. So it's going to be x minus 1 plus x, which is going to give us negative 1 plus 2x. But this is from 1 going up, meaning that it's supposed to be negative 1 plus 2x, comma, x has to be what? We're getting the number 1 going up. So x has to be what? Justina?
It has to be greater.
Exactly. X has to be greater than 1. Meaning you have redefined the function. So this was the answer. How do you sketch the graph? Sketching the graph is the same as using the piecewise function. So here what you have to do is you are going to have your graph. We get it here. We say this is our graph. So allow me to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there is modulus, meaning it will not touch the y going down. It will not go to y direction where there is negative. Simple and straightforward. Next, what we have to do is this. This is piece, meaning I'm teaching you even that other question. That is question what? From here you'll be able to answer question 5c, where they're asking about you sketch the graph. So this is what you do. You get this, you start with the first function x, y. The condition is telling you that you should only plug in the values of x. Those values of x, they are supposed to be less than 0. You understand? The values of x should only be less than what? Less than 0. So we start from 0, meaning that where there is 0, we are going to put an open circle. I think you remember this. When we use this, is open circle. When you use less than or equal to, it's going to be a cross circle. Okay, so I'll start from 0. I'll just get two less than the numbers which are less than 0. Two numbers, negative 1 and negative 2. That's all. So if I put negative 1, if I put 0 in this equation, what am I going to get? What would be the value of y? Let's do first.
1.
It's going to, so let me just do this. 4, 5. It's going to be 1. If I put negative 1, let's do first. Where there's x in the first equation. 3. If I put 2, negative 2, to be 5.
4.
4 or 5. 5. Let's plot the graph. Where is 0, 1? 0, 1 is here. I'm going to put an open circle. 0, 1 is here. I'm going to put an open circle because it is not included at that point. Negative 1, 3. Negative 1 is here all the way to 3 at this point. What else? Negative 2, 5. 5 is somewhere here. So I'm going to say this is 5. I'm done with that one. The line is going to be like this. It will start from here, it goes there. So here I need to put the arrow because we don't know where it is ending. I'm done with this function. I'll go to the next one. The next one, you don't have any x. So what it is telling you is that when x was equal, these are the values of x. When x was equal to 0, the value of y is what? You have this. X, y. When the x was 0, the value of y was 1. Again, when x was 1, the value of y was what? 1 again. So these are the coordinates which you have for this, the second one. Any question before we continue? Let's do first. So we're going to say 0, 1 is this point. It is less than or equal to, I'm going to put a cross one. Okay? 1, 1 is this point. I'm done. It is crossed. So this has to be connected there. Next, I'll go to the third one. I'll say the condition is x has to be greater than what? Greater than 1. So I'll say this. X, y. I'll start from 1. If I put 1 in this equation, what will be my value of y? Come on.
Is greater than 1.
Yes,
It will be 1.
it will be 1. Are you sure it will be 1? It will
Yes, sir. Aren't we getting the numbers that are greater than 1?
We are getting the numbers greater than 1 but including 1, but where there is 1, 1 we are going to put open circle, meaning that one is not included. That is what we did on the first one. When we use the less than or greater than, we use open circle at that point, meaning that it is not included at that point. That's why here we said it was open. We even started with the open here. Then it is going there. It is not included. That's why I've put open. So we start from the same point, but if it is greater than or less than, we just put open circle to show them that it is not included. That point is not included. You get it?
Alright, sir.
Yes. So if we put 2, what are we going to have? Let's put 2.
3.
We're going to get a 3. I'll put a 3 here. If I put 4, 3. What am I going to have?
A 5.
5. Let's plot. 1, 1 is this point. It is greater than, I'm going to put an open circle. Okay? 2, 3. 2 is here. 3 is here. So it's somewhere here. Somewhere here. What else? 3, 5. 3 is here. 5 is here. Somewhere here. This was the graph for this equation. So here you put the arrows, you don't know where it's going. And for sure, you can see that we have modulus, it can't go to the negative side. From here, you can see that the domain is all real numbers. The range is from positive 1 all the way to positive infinity. This is how you define the function. This is how you sketch the function. Same applies to piecewise function. Very, 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 very important. Unless you have questions. Unless you have questions. Okay, I don't have questions. This is what I wanted us to do. From here I want us to do sketching of trigonometric functions and solving equations. Now let's say we have f of x is equal to sine theta. Let's say sine x. The graph of sine starts from here, from where there's 1 all the way to -1. So it's supposed to start from there, it goes there, then like this. But I know you have some ideas. The only important thing which I want you to know is this. Are you still here? Or too quiet?
Yes.
Okay. So I want us to have this. A sine open brackets bx plus c plus d. They can also tell you that f of x is equal to a cos bx c plus d. A is amplitude. How do we find the amplitude? We get the absolute value. Even if you have been given -2 sine theta, we get the absolute value of -2, which is going to be just 2. You get my point, eh? Next, you have to know to find the period. How do you find the period? Period is 2 pi over b. Next, you have to know how to find the phase shift. How do we find the phase shift?
bx plus c equals to 0.
Bx plus c equals 0. So for x, that is the phase shift. I'll explain what it means. How do we find the vertical shift? D is the vertical shift. You just get to D. That is the vertical shift. Next, you need to know the scale. How do we find the scale in x-axis? To find the scale in x-axis, what you have to do is the period divided by 4.
Period divided by 4.
Exactly. Simple and straightforward. Let's have a question. Let's say we have y is equal to 2 sine x plus pi over 4. Let me put pi over 2. Let's have, here we have also 2. What is the period? Let's do fast. What's the period? Huh? Oh, yeah, sorry. What's the amplitude? Let's start with the amplitude. What's the amplitude? What is the period?
2 pi.
What is the phase shift?
Negative pi over 2.
Oh, over 2i. What is our scale? First, what is our vertical shift?
X2.
What is our x-axis scale? Upper, so as we are solving this, there is someone out there, they don't know anything and they don't want to ask anything. Please, guys, I beg you, just be open. If you can't understand, just ask. Yes.
I'm not understanding when. Okay, I understood the part when you're introducing how to find the amplitude, but I'm not getting how it's becoming 2 pi, the phase shift, how it's becoming negative. What, or that part?
Were you there when we said bx plus c is equal to 0? So for x,
Yeah.
so we have this. You just get what is inside to find the phase shift. Equate them equal to 0. So for x plus pi over 2 is equal to 0. X is equal to We shift this to the other side, negative pi over 2. What else, Mama? I believe.
That one is clear.
What else is not clear? The phase shift. Phase shift, you just get this number. That is D. The period is 2 pi over B. So in this case, B is 1. So it is 2 pi over 1. It's 2 pi. Is that okay? The scale is the period.
You can come again
For the what?
you can explain again for the period.
Period is 2 pi over B. B is the number in front of the X. You are always going to have X. The number in front of X is B. Sometimes they can change this and they can give you to say it is 2 sine X. Then they tell you that it's pi over 2 plus X. B is still this. The number in front of X is B. You get it, huh?
Yes.
To find the scale, it is the period divided by the 4. The period is 2 pi over 4. Is pi over 2. What it means there is this. As long as you have this, this is your graph. The vertical shift, that is where the graph is going to start from. So you have 1, you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Negative, negative, negative. The graph is going to start from the line. This is where the graph is going to touch, to start from, in short. That is the vertical shift. Vertical is in this, this is the vertical. Okay? Phase shift is the horizontal. It's going to shift. So when you say the graph is going to shift pi over 2 to the left, but I don't want you to be, I know you are going to be confused if I start using that. If I tell you to say this graph is going to shift 2 units up, you're going to be confused. I know. Definitely you're going to be confused. But I want to tell you and to teach you a very simple method on how to graph trigonometric functions. So the vertical shift, that's where the graph is going to touch. So where there is 2, you put this. Okay? Next, find the amplitude now. The amplitude from these 2 up, where is it going to end? 2 plus 2 is 4. It's going to end where there is 4 in this line. That will be the maximum. You get my point, eh? Down here it was negative 2. It was supposed to end at negative 2 down here. So it's negative 2 plus 2. It's going to give us 0. The graph is going to end down here. The amplitude is going to be 0. Let's go to the phase shift. Phase shift, we have found that it is that's where the graph is going to start from. So it's going to start from here. Let's put here. Yeah. Yes.
Where are you getting the negative 2 from?
Down here. Because we are supposed to have up, down. Or if you are confused there, in short, we have written the what? The y-intercept, which is the vertical shift. Then you look at this. This is 2. From the vertical shift there, going up, you need to go 2 units. It's supposed to be 1, 2. So it's going to end at 10 or at 4. Down, you have to go 2 units. So from here, we are going to have 1, 2. We end here again. Have you understood?
Yes.
Have you seen where I've gotten this? This is the phase shift I've put there. We have, our scale is pi over 2. You are going to be adding this pi plus pi over 2 plus pi over 2 until you reach, you need to have 5 coordinates in the x-axis. So we are going to start from there. So this plus pi over 2. Yes.
Excuse me. For the 5 coordinates in the x-axis, is it for this graph only, or maybe for all the graphs?
For all the graph, because they're not going to give you the range. It's for all the graph. For sine and cosine, you're going to have 5 coordinates. You get my point, eh?
Okay. Yes.
The reason why, just a minute. The reason why we're going to have 5 coordinates, we want our equation to be in this manner. We're supposed to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even the one for cosine is supposed to be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, sir. The one who was saying sir, we have someone who was saying sir, 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 sir. They have given up.
I wanted to ask on the part for what is the radians. Is all supposed to maybe convert to degrees, or we leave it as we have been given all the time, or maybe we can do whatever on a comfortable way.
Mm-mm. The phase shift, they are going to give you always in radian. So it's supposed to be in radian. But some they can mark. But again, that is wasting time, because if you start converting again, meaning you're supposed to convert even the phase shift to degree. But I feel like this is simple, because as long as you've got the vertical shift, then you have got the scale. You're going to be adding just the scale, that scale which you have. So here we're going to add. If we add this plus pi over 2, we are going to reach where there is 0. Again, we add 0 plus pi over 2, we are going to reach where there is pi over 2. Again, this I add pi over 2. What are we going to have?
Wait, so what are we adding to the pi over 2?
Kaize muvutika. We are adding the phase shift which you have been given for you to find the next point. You get my point, eh? For you to find the next point, this is the first point which you have found. That's where we are going to start from. For you to find the next point, you need to add this with the scale which we have found. This is the scale. The scale is pi over, or period over 4. So period was 2 pi. So 2 pi over 4 is pi over 2. So we keep on adding this plus 2 pi, we go to the next point. That next point plus pi over 2, we go to the next point. That next point plus pi over 2, we go to the next point. Just like that until we reach 5 scales.
Alright, so
So we're going to have what? I have added pi over 2, I've reached where there's 0.
pi over 2.
3 pi, right? I'm going to reach 3 pi over 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. The last one is going to be what? It's going to be pi. Guys, 3 pi over 2 plus pi over 2. We are going to get a pi. Eh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you getting me?
Sir,
Yes, Justina.
yes, is it not supposed to be 2 pi?
Where?
The 3 pi over 2 plus pi over 2.
3 pi over 2, mama, plus pi over 2. The denominators are the same, we add the powers. Oh, it's 2 pi over 2.
2 pi.
It's going to give us what?
2 pi. 2 pi.
But this is okay, where we said pi over 2. Then we added, it's giving you 3 pi, right? So we have 2 pi.
Sir, one, sir,
Mm-hmm.
I have a question on why are we leaving out the negative when we're adding?
No, we are adding this plus pi over 2 is 0. 0 plus pi over 2 is pi over 2. Pi over 2 plus pi over 2. Pi over 2 plus, even guys, pi over 2 plus pi over 2, can we get 3 pi over 2? You guys,
Mm-hmm.
No,
No,
it's
sir,
pi.
it's
it's
pi.
pi. Then pi over pi plus pi, pi plus pi over 2, we're going to get 2 pi, not so. Mm-mm. This is 3 pi over 2.
3 pi over 2.
Yes, so here is 3 pi over 2. So I wanted to be shocked, how possible is it that we can reach on 2 pi without pi? Yes. Up to this point, before we start graphing, any question?
So, sir, is it that every time it's in that order, like
To find the x, to find
3
the x
pi,
coordinate?
2 pi?
No, 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 no. The period is
Yes.
going to help you. The period is the one which is going to help you to find the scale. Because the formula for finding the scale is pi, is the period over 4. So you get the period divided by 4. That will be the scale which you are going to be adding.
Okay.
So the graph for cosine is going like this. So in this case, it's going to start from this point. It goes to 4. It touches here. It reaches there. It goes there. So it will start from there, here, here, here. So this is our graph of 2 sine x plus pi over 2 plus 2. You are done. What else do you want?
So if we don't have like this 2 plus 2, the d,
Mhm.
we just start from this
0. We
letter
start
d.
from 0. Yes, yes. Meaning that the vertical shift is 0 in that case if you don't have 2 that side.
Okay, thank you. What when we're given, let's say, a range? How do we go about it?
You go all the way up to the range. You keep on adding the scale until you reach where there is range. For example, let's say they have given you from negative 2 pi all the way to 2 pi. This part you keep on adding, okay? You keep on adding the pi going in this direction. In short, what you are going to have this side is the same as what you are going to have this side, but it's going to be just negative this side until you reach on the range 2 pi. Then you stop there. So the graph will just keep on going until you reach there.
Alright, thank you.
We go to cos. How can we graph the cos?
Sir, just a minute.
Tikazivutikira pamoja. Ask.
Sir, at first they're saying sometimes they can give you a situation where, okay, in the question, just there where there's 2 sign, the bracket, like the x can be the other side, so we just have to arrange it so that the x should be in front.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll do first now. Let's say we have y is equal to negative 3 sine x plus, let me put minus pi over 4. just like this. But they are going to include the vertical shift. Let's put plus 1. You can graph this even without knowing how much phase shift you want. So now let's do fast. What is our amplitude? Let's do fast. Let's do fast.
-3.
Yeah, inamwe papata please. I say D. I say D. You get the absolute value 3. The period. Oh guys, but navutika na mundu. Okay, the period. You know, when you make a mistake, then we correct you. You are going to solve tomorrow. So don't be scared, eh? That's how I am. Omba knows me better. It's going to be 2 pi. Then what is the phase shift? The vertical shift? Scale? Scale?
Pi over 2.
Pi over 2.
Pi over
Pi over 2. So pi over 2. I'm going to have my graph. Thank you. Someone can ask, Sammy, I see that one as pi over 4. Is pi over 2. Sammy, I see that one to be pi over 4. You know, nanga. Pi over 2. Let's get rid of this. Next, let's have, I want you to understand this. There is a negative here. Okay? Why can't I just say this? Since it's going to be negative. Let's start by putting the oasis. The phase shift we are saying is what? The phase shift is pi over 4. So I'll start from pi over 4. I'll put pi over 4 here. Next point, I have to add pi over 4 plus pi over 2. What will be the answer? Tend to take fast, guys. Time is not with us. We are remaining with 3 pi over 4. Next point, 3 pi over 4 plus pi over 2. Are you sure? Next, please. 1, 2, 3. We're remaining with 2. Next, 5 pi over 4. Next, please. Next, please. Next, please. 3 pi over 2. We end there. Vertical, so we're going to have our 1 here, our 2 here, our 3 here, our 4 here, our 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. Boss, all the things which I have put here, you can just rearrange them and start from here to say negative pi over 4. You rearrange going there. It's okay. From here, what we're going to do, we need to put the vertical shift. This is the vertical shift. The graph is going to cut where there's 1. So Where there's 1 is this point. That's where the graph is going to be starting from here. After that, we need to find 3 units up. So from here, 3 units, right? So 1, 2, 3. That will be my maximum. What it means is that even down from here, I need to go down also how many units? 3 units. So from here, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. It's going to end where there's 2. So where there's 2 is going to be my minimum amplitude. 4 is going to be my maximum. I don't know if you are getting my point there. Next.
Yeah, going down. Why are you counting from? Like, why are you starting from counting? Going down.
Why am I starting from counting going up? That's the question for you. I'm starting from I'm sta- I'm starting no, I'm starting from the vertical shift from 1. So I start from here 1, 2, 3. So it will end there. Initially, if we didn't have this graph was supposed to end at -3 and 3. So it has shifted 1 unit up. So we are going up with 1 unit. That's why it's going to end where there is 4. Then here it's going to reduce by 1. That's why it's ending at negative. Now, I'm telling you to say, if I start telling you to say it's going to shift 2 units up, 1 units up, you're going to be confused. So that's why I'm teaching you this simple method. You get it?
So you can just say when finding the upper one, they just say the phase shift plus the
Yes.
amplitude.
Yes,
Then
exactly.
finding the one at the bottom, you subtract
Yes, you
the
subtract.
phase shift.
Yes. So
Okay.
if I say 3 plus 1 is going to be 4, that is my maximum. Then when I want to get the minimum, this I'm supposed to get a negative. Negative 3 plus 1 is going to give us negative 2. That is the minimum. That's where it's going to end.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. So I'm going to graph this. If there was no negative, meaning that the graph was supposed to start from this point, it goes there at this point, then it touches there, again it goes where there is 2. That's where it's going to end. It goes here and then it ends there. This is when the graph was supposed is if we didn't have the negative, the graph was supposed to go like this. Okay, but because there's negative, this is going to change. So what you have to do when changing, you just make, I don't want you to be confused. It's going to be like this. This is original. The negative one will start from here going like this. So the negative one is going to start from here. Okay, it's going to end there. It touches there. It ends here. It comes there. That is to be our original equation. So it will start from there, goes here. It cuts there. It goes there. It ends there. So that is the graph of negative. This meaning you are done. Confused? Since you are not confused, so I want us to do what?
So,
Yes, madam.
can we go back to the previous page?
I'm here. Just want to screenshot.
Alright, thank you.
I go to the next. Next, let's have the cos. Y is equal to, let's say we have 2 . we have two things. Let me put it like this. Let's say we have, let me get the question. Why is that question? You can't see it. Let's say we have y is equal to 2 minus, let's start with plus cos x plus pi over 4. Justina, you have got a question?
Yes.
Yes, where?
Sorry to take you back. There are those questions that, like for sine,
Mhm.
like for instance, this one that we had.
Mhm.
So it's let me say 3
Mhm.
minus sine, then everything else just like that.
Yes, it's the one we are going up. So have you seen what I've written on the board? Isn't it the same question you are asking about?
Yeah, something like this.
Not something like this. It's the same one. It is the same as this. This equation is the same as this. It's the same as cos x plus pi over 4 plus 2. It's the same as you just shift this, you put it there. You get it?
Yes.
Yes. Like the question which came in your exam.
Yeah, that one.
Yes. So in this case, the amplitude is what? 1. The period is what? 2 pi. The phase shift is what? Justina, tell me the phase shift here.
It's a negative pi over 4.
Negative pi over 4. Justina, tell me the vertical shift.
It's a positive 2.
Positive 2. Do you have people who are still confused here on how to find these things? Because they are coming tomorrow. Hmm? At what, boss? We continue. Omba, you are too quiet. I'm not impressed with you today. Because I know you are asking. You ask. So I don't know if everything is just okay or there's something fishing. Okay, I don't know what is happening with Womba. What is our scale? P over 4. The period is 2 pi over 4. Then, next, pi over 2. The graph of cosine goes like this. If we have got y is equal to cos x, the graph starts from 1 all the way to negative 1. So it's supposed to go like this. This. That's the graph for cos. It's different from sine. Tomorrow you should expect cos or sine and not tan. Tan, then they want you to fail. But since they want you to pass, they are going to give you tan. They are going to give you cos or sine. So what I'm going to have is I'm going to have my graph here. Here is my graph. I'll start from here. We know that the phase shift is supposed to shift up 2 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 is this line. We are done there. Let's go with the phase shift. It is starting from negative pi over 4. Next, negative pi over 4 plus 2 pi. What are we going to get? Let's do first. What are we going to have? Guys, please napapata. It's going to give us
7 pi over 4.
it's going
7 pi over 4.
are you sure?
Sir, is it possible for you to be writing these things down so that maybe we can follow properly?
You are not following properly. Okay,
No.
too bad. So we are saying negative pi over 4 plus pi over 2. What will be the answer? We know that 1 there we are going to get a negative 1. Okay, we've got a 4 here. This there 1 negative pi. Here we are going to get a 8. So it's 7. It's positive, right?
Yes.
So let's put it here. Positive pi over 7 over 4. Again, 7 pi over 4 plus pi over 2. What are we going to get? We have down 4, 7 pi plus 4, 11 pi, right? 11 pi over 4.
Isn't it 9, sir? 9.
9. Math ya bwanje tite hapa. It's 9, 9 pi over 4. Next, 9 pi over 4 plus pi over 2. This now is going to be, we need to have 5. 1, 2, 3. We are remaining with 2. Allow me to get rid of this so that I extend my graph here. We have 4, 9 pi plus 8. We are going to get a 17. Aika? We are going to get a 17.
Where's the 8 coming from? Plus pi over 2, which is 11
Oh,
pi over 2.
it's 11. I was thinking maybe this is giving us. This is supposed to be 2, 11
So you
pi.
don't say pi again, sir. You just say 2. You don't say 2 pi.
Oh, it's 2 pi. Oku ndiye kulema manje uku. Ukuka? Ndiye kulema manje uku.
Now I'm understanding.
You understanding now?
Yes.
Are you sure? Next, we need to have 4. If you have got questions, I can't see whether you are raising your hands or not. You can just ask. It's okay.
Sir,
Mhm.
on that part for negative pi over 4 plus pi over 2, how did we get 7 pi over 4?
I don't know. I was getting from you plus pi over 2. Common denominator is this.
It's wrong, sir.
It's wrong, huh?
Yes.
Yes, it's wrong.
Tell us the correct thing now. So you are there, guys. So it's supposed to be 3, eh?
It's supposed to be
3 pi
pi
over
over 4.
4.
Supposed to be 5 pi over 4.
Pi.
No, pi over 4.
Pi over 4. Next. How is it that this plus pi then is giving you pi over 4? Oh, this is 2.
Negative pi over 4 plus pi over 2.
4 into this 1, we will have this plus 2. 2 is going to give us what? 2 times oh yes, it's pi over 4. Then pi over 4 plus pi over 4.
Sir, wait.
ya tabasiya abantu
3 pi over
Yes. I thought from the first one,
Mhm,
this one, the first shift,
mhm.
we're adding the square, which is pi over 2.
Yes, so negative pi over 4 plus pi over 2. What is the answer, Justina? 4. 4 into 4.
So I'm finding negative pi over 2.
No, it can't be negative. 2 into 4 is 2. 2 times pi is 2 pi. So negative pi plus 2 pi is pi over 4.
Okay, now it makes sense.
So pi over 4 plus pi over 4. Oh, is pi over 2. What are you getting the next point?
3 pi over 4.
3 pi over.
Next point, please. We say 3 pi over 4 plus pi over 2. So we have a 4, 5, eh? Next,
7.
5 pi over 2 plus pi over 2. 7, eh? 7 pi over 2. Over 2 or 4?
4. 4.
Imwe 4 or 2, guys?
4.
Okay.
4 over 2.
This was 10 divided by 4. 2 there, 5, 2 there.
Oh, alright, alright. 10.
So we have how many points? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now for course, what you have to do is this. The starting point, you need to put this so that it should not be disturbed. The last point, you also put this so that it should not be disturbed. It is going to start from the amplitude. You can mute your mic. We start from the amplitude. So the amplitude is 1 in this case. So it's going to shift from here all the way to 1. So it's this point here. So you start from here, from the amplitude. Okay, for us to make this graph to be neat, allow me to put 3 on top just a bit.
So,
Yes,
that point is 2 pi, 5 pi over 4.
this one.
It's the second last point, it's 5 pi over 4.
So they okay. Thank you. The graph, we know that it is positive here, is supposed to come like this. So since it's like that, we have to start from here, the maximum. I want you to get my point there. But since we don't have, let's just shift this one a bit. Let's put this one just a bit closer. We put it here. Negative pi over 4. I've not changed anything. Don't be confused. So I'll start from this line. You get my point, eh? I'll start from this line. It has to come. Now, here, from here we are going on. You can't see. Yeah, guys naye vena pamene apa Leviticus we atisokoneza so iyambira apa. Oh, we are starting from here. There are some people from Burundi, from Zimbabwe here. We start from here, then next point is this point. It's going to touch there. Now where are we going to end? Here from 1 here, from 2, sorry, from 2 we went 1 units up, so we need to go down 1 unit. It's going to end where there's 1, so it's going to end here. Again it touches there, then it ends here. So the graph will be like this. Although it's not neat, but that's how the graph is supposed to be.
So,
Yes, please.
um,
1.
right?
Mm.
Yes. So now the one, because of the vertical shift, moved to what?
Two units up. No, the
Yes.
amplitude is the same one, but I mean the vertical shift shifted from 0 all the way to 2. If you can check from the vertical shift here all the way to this, we have just moved 1 unit. Here in between there's nothing.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
But sir, isn't it supposed to move to 3?
Yes, it has moved to 3. That's why it's 3 here. We are starting from 3 here. We are starting from 3 here.
Okay.
Now,
Then so
how is what?
how are we supposed to know, like, from, okay, yes, from 3 there it's clear, but the next part where it's going to be plotted like that?
The next part, you keep on going. It's like this. The graph for, if they have given you the range, it's going like this. You start from there, it goes there, just like this, until you end. That is course.
No, like, for, okay, you can put it anywhere. It doesn't really have to matter, like the way it's landing on, is that 3 pi over 4?
3 pi over 4. Where is it? Here. No, here is supposed to
Yes.
end. Yes, it's supposed to. I think I don't get your question.
My question is, how are we supposed to know? Okay, are we just supposed to be drawing it, or
No!
there's a reason why it's on?
No, you're not
No,
supposed
there's
to
a
be.
reason why it's on 3 pi over 4.
No, here is 1, guys. We are ending on 1. Although the graph is not clear, but it's supposed to end on 1. That is the minimum. Then the maximum is 3. It is 1. The amplitude from the phase shift to the amplitude is supposed to be 1. 1. So start from here is 1. Again from here is 1. Then the same graph, if they put negative here, from here, if they just put negative, you start from 1 here, it goes like this, like the one which came in your exam. It's supposed to be like this. Start from here, it goes there, it goes there, then it goes here. That was the graph. Guys, you are confused. Are we safe?
Sir, let's break for 10 minutes.
No, my last question.
Yes.
Maybe I haven't gotten it. Why? Okay, let me just say, to be clear.
Yes.
Why can't it land on pi over 4? Like the,
Oh, you want to land it on pi over 4? Oh, here?
why? Yes, why can't it be?
Oh, I didn't get your question. That is your question. No, it's
Yes.
supposed to land on the vertical shift, mama. So this is the vertical shift. So it's supposed to land on the vertical shift. It can only land here if the vertical shift is 0.
So you're trying to say 3 pi
Relax,
over 4
relax.
the vertical shift.
Yes. No. Relax. Let's have this. Mm, cos x. Do you know that the graph for this will go like this, then like this? You know that, right?
Yes.
Let's just change a bit. Let's say y is equal to 2 cos x, then we say plus x plus 3. What does it mean? It's going to shift 3 units up. So the vertical shift is now the y intercept is now this one, which is the vertical shift. So if this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, so where there is 3, that's where it's going to be landing now, because of it has shifted. But in a case you don't have this, that's why it's landing now on 0. So now let's say we have got the point negative pi over 2, then 0, then pi over 2, another point, another point. It is cos. So it's going to shift from this point. It has to go 2 units because we have got 2 here. From this point, it's supposed to go 1 2. We are going to end there. Down again, it's going to be from here 1 2. It's going to end here. Meaning we start from this line. It goes there. So we are starting from, sorry, we are starting from up here. That's why I was telling you that it's important for you to put this, because for you for not to be confused if I put this. So it's supposed to start from here, the amplitude, then it lands here. You get, it lands on the vertical shift. From here it's supposed to end here at this point. Again it has to come here, then it ends there. So it will come like this.
So you're saying it will start from the three, then it has to come on the vertical shift,
Which
then on the minimum.
which theory are you talking about?
Okay, I'm talking about the down part.
Mm-hmm.
Since you said it has to go how many steps down?
2.
Yes, so it's going to land where the two is there.
Well, there's 1. We have 1. So from here this is 3 already.
Oh.
1, 2. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So it has to land on the 1.
Yes, it has to land on the 1.
Then back to the 3.
Yes, but that one is supposed to be in a straight line like with this one which you have here. So it was supposed to become there, it lands here, then it goes there, it goes there.
Oh, okay.
Does it mean in this case the period is not being used?
The period is being used to find the phase, the scale. Now here I was just giving you an example to say, let's say that the period is, I've not, I was just giving you an example on how it's supposed to be done. But you always use the scale.
Okay.
Guys, I'm tired, I can't lie. Now the question which you wrote, it was like this. This was supposed to be the answer. Me, I can graph without even finding the phase shift what, but just because they ask about the period what, but you can graph using without those. Your graph was like this, the one which came. Since there was negative, it was supposed to come from here. It was going like this. I'm failing to draw again. It was like this. That was the graph. But the original one was supposed to be like this, if there was no negative. Now because there was 2 minus, so this negative, that's why it was like this. So you don't know what I'm talking about.